You got a story that suits the surroundings?
I do. I do. I actually, there's a story that I think is one of the best ones I've ever told. So I'm setting some pretty high stakes here. But uh, for reference, I told this one live last year in Texas to a sold out crowd at the Paramount Theater. And this story had a big reaction to it because the twist at the end is something else and it's house themed. So in 2004, there was this guy named Mitch who was going to a university in Louisiana. And he's a senior, and there's this girl in his class named Kayla, who's also a senior, and he just loves this girl. He wants to date her more than anything, and he's tried several times to woo her, but she's not that interested. She's kind of playing hard to get, but he could tell there was something there. Maybe she likes him, and eventually she does kind of acquiesce and say, okay, like let's go on a date, and they hit it off. Mitch and Kayla hit it off. They're an item, and they end up graduating. And after graduation, they get married. And by 2006, Mitch and Kayla have bought their actual, white picket fence dream home in Louisiana. And, life was great. They loved their careers. Both of them were very intentional about spending time together on the weekends and really making, their time together as a couple very important. And then by 2007, so they've lived in this new home for a year now. They welcome their first child, their daughter. And then 2 years after that, which puts us in 2009, they have their son. And then they're done at that point. They got their girl, they got their boy. And it's like life couldn't be better. Mitch loves his job. His wife loves her job. They had this thing where every morning the dad would he would sneak into the kids' bedroom and he'd like spook them to wake them up, as a playful thing. And they always had, family game nights on the weekend, and the Mitch and Kayla made a point to still have those romantic dates, anytime they could. They always got babysitters to spend time together. So this is like it's the American dream in many ways. You have this young family living
High
the dream.
school sweetheart, white picket fence,
that's the idea.
2.5 kids, dog.
That's it. So it's 2009, and Mitch is at this little dream home, and he's watching football. He's sitting on the couch watching football, and it's just like any other day. And as he's watching the game, there's this lamp that's in the back right corner of the room. This nondescript, target lamp. It's a red lamp, and Mitch, he's seen this lamp a million times. It's in his house, and he's watching football. But at some point, he notices something odd about this lamp, and he looks over at it, and for some reason, the lamp itself, not the light bulb, but the actual physical lamp, like the base, was blurry.